Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Sunday, September 28, 2014, around 8:05 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Sun's down. Hope you enjoyed this nice day in the 80s, because we're not going to see 80 here for at least 6 months. And some news to report: happy National Neighbor Day and happy National Drink a Beer Day in the United States. The 2014 Major League Baseball regular season is in the books, and the Oakland A's clinched the fifth and final wild card spot in the AL today. They almost blew it. If they lost today, they would have had to play a one-game playoff just to get the second wild card against the Mariners, who swept the Angels, but that doesn't matter. The A's are in it, and they face off against the Kansas City Royals Tuesday at 8 p.m. on TBS with Ernie Johnson, Ron Darling, Cal Ripken Jr., and Matt Weiner as the reporter. And also the National League wild card game is Wednesday on ESPN. It will be San Francisco Giants against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and calling the game Dan Shulman, John Kruk, and Buster Olney as the reporter. And coming Monday is going to be my 2014 Major League Baseball playoff predictions. And that's about it on that. Only 11 more days to Bruin season. And my third and final video blog of the night is about my personality profile. My personality profile tonight is about a player who just retired today. It's not Derek Jeter, it's Paul Konerko, first baseman for the Chicago White Sox. He was the White Sox captain for the last 9 years of his career, and Paul Konerko is one of the great guys in all of baseball, and he was born in Providence, Rhode Island. He is part Polish, part Italian. He grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona, and when he was in high school, he was a highly touted catcher. He played catcher in high school, 5'58", his senior year in high school, and he was nationally recognized as a catcher. He was like the #1 high school baseball catcher in all the United States in Baseball Prospect magazine and USA Today. He was drafted by the Dodgers in the first round of the 1994 Major League Baseball draft at number 13. He moved to first base because the Dodgers had a catcher named Mike Piazza back then, and no way Paul was going to unseat Mike Piazza at all, so he moved to first base. He was 2 times LA Dodgers minor league player of the year. He made his debut with the Dodgers in September 8th, 1997. He played parts of 2 years for the Dodgers and the Reds. He was traded from the Reds to the Chicago White Sox on November 11th, 1998 for Mike Cameron, and this was one of the great deals in White Sox history. He played 16 seasons with the White Sox, playing first base, and he was 6 times an All-Star, 2005 American League Championship Series MVP, AL Comeback Player of the Year in 2004, 13 times he had at least 20 or more home runs, 6 times he drove in 100 RBIs. He was the team captain for the White Sox for 9 years, and he has the second most home run. His offensive stats puts him in second on the all-time list for home runs and RBIs. With the White Sox, he hit 432 home runs, 1,383 RBIs, and he had a .281 average while playing for the White Sox. Home runs, RBIs, he's second only to Frank Thomas in the all-time list in home runs and RBIs. And he was a great leader, very consistent. And at the end of the 2011 season, when Ozzie Guillen moved from being a White Sox manager to the Marlins manager, the GM of the White Sox, Kenny Williams, considered making Paul Konerko a player manager. If that had happened, he would have been the first player manager in Major League Baseball since Pete Rose in 1986. But, it never came to be because Robin Ventura was named White Sox manager, but Paul Konerko had a great leadership and stuff like that. And there was, decline in Paul Konerko's game the last few years of his career, kind of frequently injured and stuff. And the White Sox brought him back this year under a one-year contract as a part-time player, and he was going to retire anyway in 2014. And his career stats: 279 average, 2,338 hits, 439 home runs, and 1,412 RBIs. And he's going to be up for the Hall of Fame first time in 2020. And there's going to be questions if he's going to be a Hall of Famer. His stats are kind of like borderline for a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's going to get the necessary 5% of the votes to stay on the ballot in 2020. The downside of he was a consistent player, but he was not like voted in the top 10 for MVP that much. And first baseman, especially in the American League, there was a glutton of first basemen around his time. So it's going to be very difficult for him to get the 5% of the ballot to stay on the Hall of Fame. He's borderline, but I don't see him as a Hall of Famer. The White Sox it's going to retire as number 14, and they had a statue of him. It's probably going to be outside of U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, Illinois, where the White Sox play. And he's probably that's good for that. And he's a White Sox legend, probably the second best player in White Sox history behind Frank Thomas. Well, that's about it on that. I hope you enjoy liking these video blogs, Facebook friends, and YouTube followers. I'm going to be doing more of these in the coming days, weeks, months, years, decades, millenniums, centuries, infinity ahead. And I'm telling you, tomorrow's subjects will be 3 of them. One is going to be my continuation series of the top 10 of everything and anything, and I'm going to talk about the top 10 greatest NHL coaches of all time. And also, I'm going to talk about tomorrow my 2014 MLB Major League Baseball postseason preview. And the third and final video blog of the night is going to be a personality profile. I won't tell you who it is, but it will be revealed on my final Facebook status if you're a Facebook friend of mine. And don't forget, coming soon, video blogs about Julie Broughton, Local News 6, Weekend Weather Lady, Janelle Tobin, Heidi Lee Pratt, Crystal Pistol, Dee Patel, Bruce Cronin, Tony Ramos, and a lot of others. They're coming, folks. Maybe I'm saving them for sweeps month, and 3 more days into the 2014-2015 NHL preview blog, Facebook friends, and YouTube followers. Have a good night. See you tomorrow morning.